Hello everybody, Local Lego Man here, and welcome back to what is unfortunately the last of the LEGO Indiana Jones reviews, at least for a while, since, again, I would go back and try to review some of the older sets, but if you've seen some of those prices, yikes! They're at least $2. They're kind of pricey, so I don't really have the budget to do that stuff right now, but we are finishing up the Indiana Jones reviews with what is, in my opinion, one of the best sets of the three. That being set 77013, containing 600 pieces and retailing for $40, the Escape from the Lost Tomb set. Now, this set is obviously a remake of such an amazing set that we got back in the day, which might have also been titled the same thing. I'm not sure the original name of that set, but I'm really excited to check this one out, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Now this set is a super awesome throwback, but before we take a look at the actual build of the tomb, we first have to take a look at the figures, starting off with Indiana Jones. And he comes with his iconic whip as an accessory, and this is yet another awesome variant of Indiana Jones, with pretty much 90% of the figure being the same as the one included within the Temple of the Golden Idol set. But interestingly enough, the hands are different, with the figure having these dark tan hands, which I believe is a reference to Indiana Jones wearing gloves during this scene. But other than that, I should also mention that he has an alternate face with a more grumpy and confused expression. Next up, we have Marion Ravenwood, and Marion comes with this lit torch and is overall just a stellar figure, and a definite improvement from the original figure that we got within the older sets. And I also really appreciate that they gave this figure dual molded legs, since it really does help to make this figure pretty much perfect. And I should also mention that Marion does have an alternate expression, which shows her in fear of these snakes. After that, we have the main man himself, that being Sallah. And it's kind of crazy to me that it took this long for us to get a Sallah figure, but I'm just happy that we got one, since he's one of my favorite characters from the Indiana Jones movies. And although there isn't any leg printing, the face and torso printing is, put simply, perfect, and a great inclusion to the LEGO Indiana Jones theme. And last but most certainly not least, we have the Mummy. And this is kind of a surprise inclusion to this set, since this figure references a pretty dark part from the tomb escape, and I'm kind of surprised that such a quote-unquote gory figure was included within this set, but it is a pretty awesome inclusion with some awesome printing on the torso and legs that brings me back to the good old days of Pharaoh's Quest. Alrighty, now that we've taken a look at the figures, it's time to take a look at the actual build. And I am a huge fan with all of the details within this set, from all of the snakes on the ground to the awesome stickers, which are jam-packed with references to Bionicles, what I believe is Exo-Force, and even R2-D2 and C-3PO, which was an Easter egg within the older set that was actually based off a real Easter egg that was included within the movie. I'm also a huge fan of the build for the Ark of the Covenant, which takes advantage of some well-designed stickers, but apart from details, there's also quite a few interesting mechanics. The first of which is this little switch on the side, and if we pull this, then it releases a snake from the wall. After that, we have this mechanic that takes advantage of one of the statues, where if you pull on this panel, it causes the statue to fall back and in turn knock down the wall. And I also really appreciate that they used a rubber piece on the back so that it wouldn't break any of the bricks during the fall. And the last main mechanic of this set is a pretty simplistic one, but a definite cool one, and it is simply triggered by pulling this piece, which in turn causes this wall to fall, which is pretty much a built-in jump scare to the set, which I just think is kind of silly. And that's pretty much it. So if I had to rate this set, what would I rate it?
I would definitely have to rate this set a 5 out of 5. I think that the price per piece ratio is really good. The figures and look of the display is awesome, and not only is it such a nostalgic set, but I also love how the mechanics harken back to those classic design tropes that the LEGO designers used to use on the LEGO Indiana Jones sets that we got quite a while ago, and that's why it gets that 5 out of 5 rating, because I genuinely think that this, along with the other two LEGO Indiana Jones sets, were perfect. And it makes me sad that we're, at least for the foreseeable future, not getting any more LEGO Indiana Jones sets, but I am very grateful that they did bring them back, at least just for these three. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this LEGO Indiana Jones review, and I reviewed the other two sets on the channel, so I would definitely recommend checking those out, and make sure to subscribe for more LEGO content. Alrighty everybody, bye!